प्रकाशं शान्तं महाकाव्यनाटकादिप्रियम् महाकाव्यनाटकादिप्रियं मूषिकवाहनमोदकप्रियं महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि महागणपतिम्.
Sri M.V. Krishna Rao is the former Director General of Police, Andhra Pradesh State. He is currently the President of Pure Earth Foundation, an environment concerned charitable society. After his post-graduation in English literature at OU, he was selected IPS in 1974. During the course of his professional journey, he served as the Commissioner of Police for Visakhapatnam and Hyderabad cities. He also held the position of Director of AP Police Academy, Director General Prisons, Director General of Fire Services, and Managing Director of Andhra Pradesh State Road Transport Corporation. Mr. Krishna Rao was awarded the Indian Police Medal for Meritorious Services and President Medal for Distinguished Services. After retirement in 2010, he was being teaching at institutions and universities like IIM Ahmedabad, Nalsar University, ESCI University of Hyderabad, MCR HRD Institution, AP HRDI SECI, and LBSNA. I'm requesting you to come to the dais, sir.
Dr. V.N. Rayudu. Dr. V.N. Rayudu garu studied MSc, PhD in zoology and served 35 years in the field of coastal zone management, water and air pollution control, environmental management, and retired as Deputy Director from PCB, Tamil Nadu. He is retired as ISO certified trainer in water and air pollution control, pathology, anthropology, safety, health, and environmental risk assessment, environmental laboratory management systems. He's also a auditor for environmental testing labs and expert in environmental due diligence, EIA, and EMS. I request you to come to the dais, sir.
My request, Rani garu, faculty design. Now I request the speakers of this first session, Akshita from G.Narayanamma Institute of Technology and Sciences, Bhavya from JNAFAU. Please come on to the dais. You have to sit here. So this is the international standard that the speakers. Bhavya and Bhavya. Then is Mr. Sanjeev from okay. Next, Abhinay from JNFAU, Snehal from JNFAU, Dhananjay JNFAU, and Balaji from JNTU, Venela from JNFAU, Venela, Sai Pranav from JNFAU. Now I will hand over the session to the chair, and the chair will call each speaker according to the order, and the speakers will present their paper. Today being a free day, we have enough time. Maybe we will see how these people utilize this opportunity. We have plenty of time, but tomorrow it will be strictly less than 10 minutes. But today, that is where I encourage many people to come forward to present today, because it's a great opportunity. You will get good time. Sir, you can use the mic and you can call upon the first speaker.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this two-day seminar. I'm very happy to see the persons who will be presenting the papers here. I'm glad that in this seminar, they are being given a place more prominent than in other seminars. Normally, they are asked to sit somewhere, and when their turn comes, they are asked to come here. But I'm glad that they get special attention right from the beginning. May I request those who are very far away, even if you want to sleep, you can sleep in the second row, no problem at all. But when you are awake, I would like you to go through what is in this PowerPoint presentation. Even the best eyesight on that last row, you will not be able to see. So may I request you all to come a little forward. We have no intention of eating you away. We will not do any harm to you. You can go ahead and sleep. If the contents of what is being read aloud are boring, please come forward so that you can watch the PowerPoint presentation.
వస్తుంది స్క్రీన్ షేర్ చేస్తే పోతుంది సార్. పోస్ట్ డిజేబుల్ అని వస్తుంది. స్క్రీన్ షేరింగ్ పోస్ట్
Use the mic too. Yeah, mic and this thing.
yes. Mic also.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Akshay.
Just stage. ఇది
Good morning, everyone. I'm Akshita from G.Narayanamma Institute of Technology and Sciences for Women. Title of the paper is Role of Traditional Knowledge. For online session. Yeah. Yes, I know. I am comfortable here. Sure. Sure. Okay, thanks. Sure, thank you. Title of my paper is Role of Traditional Knowledge Systems in Biodiversity Conservation. Coming to the importance of traditional knowledge system is the knowledge or customs practiced by local and indigenous people, which are passed to generations through orally or either written form. The ways with which the traditional knowledge can assist us in biodiversity conservation is to identify the current status of the biodiversity surroundings and set some threshold values and work on them using the rate of recovery. In the world stage, there are few initiatives and acts. Firstly, the Convention of Biological Diversity, CBD 1992 Act, which is a multilateral treaty signed and ratified by 30 states of the world. India is being one of them. There are three major goals in CBD 1992. Firstly, conservation of biodiversity, sustainable use of resources and components of biodiversity. Third, fair and equitable resource sharing of benefits from utilization of genetic resources. Article 8J of CBD plays a critical role in Convention of Biological Diversity. Article 8J states that according to national legislation, the traditional knowledge can be shared among different governments and different countries, and UNESCO's links programs, which is local and indigenous knowledge system program, which is signed in 2002, helps different countries to share the core traditional knowledge, which helps in medicine and all. In situ and ex situ conservation. In situ conservation, wherein wildlife and endangered species are protected in their natural habitat, and in ex situ conservation, the wildlife and endangered species, flora and fauna are taken to other places like zoo parks and botanical gardens and preserve them. I want to
present a case study, which is traditional forest management in Indonesia, in a place called Sungai Utik, where Dayak Iban community uses customary laws and customary ways to manage the forest. This aspect can be divided into 4 parts. Firstly, knowing the status of the customary forest and use customary laws, wherein the forest is divided into 4 parts, like protection forest, sacred forest, and religious place. In this community, they are allowed to cut only 15 trees per year, which are shared among community. They practice hidden cultivation, which is slash and burn cultivation. And the cultural benefits are, they use the cultural practices which helps in preserving and conserving the biodiversity. When it comes to Indian scenario, firstly, Biodiversity Act 2002, which has a structure of three tier. Firstly, being National Biodiversity Authority, works at central level, and secondly, State Biodiversity Management Committee. Thirdly, Biodiversity Management Board. In Biodiversity Act, which is ratified to implement the goals of Convention on Biological Diversity Act 1992, Biodiversity Amendment Bill 2021 is to boost the Indian medicine system, to relax the acts and regulations present in Biodiversity Act 2002, whereas the Geographical Indications of Goods Registration and Protection Act 1999 provides authentication and authority to the local people living in an area of period 10 years. And coming to Traditional Knowledge Digital Library 2001 is a database wherein the different local indigenous knowledge is placed in the database. And Ministry of Ayush, Ayush stands for Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddhi, Homeopathy, is formed in 2014, which helps traditional and indigenous people to preserve their knowledge and get license for the medicine and all. And coming to the case study in India, western part of Rajasthan is dominated by Bishnoi community, which is the main inspiration of Chipko movement by Amrita Devi in 1793. The Bishnoi community plants kejri trees in their fields, which helps in reducing soil degradation and stabilizes the soil, which indirectly conserves the biodiversity, and they help in conserving black antelopes, which are wildlife animals. And in Kerala, there is a tribe called Kani tribe, which practices traditional medicine. There is a traditional tribe physician, who are called Plati. They are only the authentic people who can disseminate the knowledge of traditional medicine. The CSIR and Indian government combinedly worked with the Kani tribe and got this Arogya Pacha plant, which is used as anti-stress and fatigue release medicine. And coming to the conclusion, traditional knowledge system plays a critical role in conserving biodiversity. We should work on future generations, implementing the already presented initiatives and planning much more initiatives and implementing the initiatives with local people as leaders. Thank you.
Local and
For an engineer, you've done very well. Excellent. Is there anybody in the audience who heard what she said and therefore want to ask a question? I'm sure most of you were talking to each other or watching your cell phones or WhatsApp messages, whatever it is. If there is a question from either of you, no. You've done very well. Let's give her a big hand. Now it is the turn of Bhavya. She's getting ready. Okay. She'll speak on traditional knowledge systems and their importance in environmental conservation. She's from JNAFAU. Most of you may not know, but it's worth encouraging your own college.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Bhavya from JNFAU studying DTDP second year. Today, I'm going to talk about traditional knowledge systems and environmental impact. So, yes, here is a quote by Vandana Shiva. She is an environmental activist and an Indian author. She says, in indigenous cultures, nature is not a resource to be exploited, but a partner to be respected. Traditional knowledge is a living heritage that offers us valuable insights into sustainable ways of living in harmony with nature. So she says that we need to treat nature as a partner with whom we need to live with peace and harmony, but not exploit nature after it is meeting all our needs. So yes, it is important. Yes, it is important to it is important to protect nature. So as we know, our India offers a wide range of indigenous communities who have different traditions, and they all have different traditional knowledge systems which offer a wide range of knowledge in conserving environment. Like different tribes have their own traditions. So India has a diverse cultures, ecosystems, and traditional practices, making it a significant context for studying traditional knowledge systems and their role in environmental conservation. So different tribal communities in India offer different knowledge systems. They have their own traditions. So India is like a home to many different communities. So we can see a wide range of traditions in India. So objectives of my study were exploring the role of traditional knowledge systems in environmental conservation in India based on a literature review and case studies. So through literature study, traditional knowledge systems have historical origins in indigenous practices of various communities in India, such as tribal communities, pastoralists, and fisher folk. When we see tribal communities treat the forests which provide them food like their community god or goddesses. So they treat nature as god. Traditional knowledge systems have evolved over time in response to changes in the environment, such as climate change and natural disasters. They also make sure that they continuously evolve to change their traditional systems with respect to the change in nature or climate or environmental change. Previous research on traditional knowledge systems and environmental conservation in India has focused on their role in resource management, biodiversity conservation, and climate change adaptation approach. The case study used a combination of literature review and case studies to explore the role of traditional knowledge systems in environmental conservation in India. The paper I wrote after researching the case studies were selected based on their relevance to traditional knowledge systems and environmental conservation, and it included examples from different regions and communities in India, like tribal community in Odisha and local tribal community in Rajasthan, which is trying to reduce the desert area in Rajasthan. So after the research, the results where traditional knowledge systems have contributed to biodiversity conservation in India through practices such as sacred groves, community forest management, and traditional farming methods. And as we all know, crop rotation was also a result of a study from traditional knowledge systems, which was born in India. Traditional knowledge systems have also played a role in sustainable resource use and management, such as the use of medicinal plant, fisheries management, and watershed management. So many traditional medicinal practices, such as Ayurveda and all, were also a part of traditional knowledge systems in India. However, traditional knowledge systems face challenges such as loss of knowledge and declining cultural practices, as well as competing with modern knowledge systems and policies. So, but due to globalization and industrial revolution, modernized societies are ignoring the importance of traditional knowledge systems, which is not a good impact on the environmental conservation. So in the conclusion, traditional knowledge systems are valuable for environmental conservation in India and need to be integrated with modern knowledge systems and policies. So even if we are modernized today, we cannot ignore our roots and traditional systems. If we combine our traditional knowledge and the modern practices, we may not know, but we can develop in a much better way. Policies and institutional support are needed to protect and promote traditional knowledge systems and their role in environmental conservation. Future research can explore the potential of traditional knowledge systems in addressing contemporary environmental challenges in India and beyond. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I did. Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Yes, sir. Bishnoi community case study is the one I gone through in Orissa. And there is a local tribal community in Rajasthan. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name. They are trying to reduce the desert area of Thar Desert, and they are promoting a concept called agroforestry, sir. Thank you, sir.
A very good morning to everyone. Uh, I'm Abhinay from BTech Planning second year. The topic I'm presenting is traditional agriculture, horticulture, aquaculture practices. So the introduction to this topic is traditional practices are based on the indigenous knowledge and experience developed over the centuries and have remained popular even now. These practices have been followed by India and many parts of the world from many centuries, and they have evolved as the years pass on. And the practices today, which are very evident in agriculture, aquaculture, and horticulture, are mainly chemical based because as the population has increased, so mass production has increased. So to produce more number of products, so people have involved themselves into chemicals. So the benefits of following these practices are resource utilization, biodiversity maintenance, sustainability, environmental protection, and many more. So these traditional methods in agriculture, horticulture, and aquaculture are getting global attention all over the world because the generation these days are seeing a rapid increase in the population, and the age of the people is getting low. So these practices are getting global attention these days. Moving on, some traditional agriculture practices which have been moving on from centuries and which are very evident these days are: the first one is crop rotation, where the crops are rotated for a period of months. Like for a period of 3 months, one crop is grown, and for the next period of 3 months, another crop is grown. In this practice, the main crop which is used to rotate it in a cycle are legumes, where they fix nitrogen in the soil, which helps in the soil fertility. The next practice is intercropping, where we grow two different types of crops in the same farm, where there is an exchange of soil nutrition and there is an evident more use of space in this agriculture phase by the practice of intercropping. And the next practice is terracing, where different lines of crops are um, grown on a valley or in a mountain, where it helps in many methods like water runoff and soil erosion. This is very evident in Asia, many parts of Asia, America, and Africa. Moving on, the other practices are agroforestry, where the farms are placed in the center, and along the boundaries of these farms, trees are grown so that they are protected by the environment surrounding the farms, and they improve soil health as well. Agroforestry can provide a sustainable source of fuel wood and timber to the farmers as well. And the next method is traditional irrigation systems. In traditional irrigation systems, the water provided to the plants is in equal amount, and the supply of water to different plants is in equal amount, and it is efficient. And the water use in these traditional irrigation systems is very low as compared to the modern irrigation systems. And the next method is seed saving, where in many parts of India, you may have observed that the seeds are moreover sprinkled all over the field. But in seed saving method, we lay tracks along the farm areas and plant a single seed, so that the seeds are less used, and there is more utilization of these plants all over the farm. The next one is animal husbandry, where along the farm sites, many farmers involve animals like buffaloes and cows, which integrate livestock with food crop production, with animals providing manure for fertilization, traction for plowing, and milk and meat for internal consumption. The next method is natural pest control. These days in pest control, you may have seen use of pesticides and insecticides, which are chemically involved. But by traditional farmers, some farmers use natural pesticides like neem, garlic, or chili peppers in these fields, which prevent the insects in the farms as well, which are less chemically involved. The next topic is traditional horticulture practices. Horticulture practices is the growing and cultivation of plants for food, medicinal, and different aesthetic purposes. So these methods are involved in horticulture. The first one is crop rotation, as we have discussed in prior, and the second one is companion planting. In companion planting, you have two lines of different crops. One line is for fruit production, and the other line is basically a medicinal plant laid along to the crop production, for food production, sorry. The other method is organic farming. In organic farming, there is a proper use of natural manure or vegetable waste which is produced from the households to the which has been deposited to the farms. So it acts as a natural fertilizer and pest control method for the farm. The next method is seed saving, which is very evident in agriculture practices as well as horticulture practices. So in seed saving, it involves the collection and storage of seeds from plants to ensure genetic diversity and preserve traditional plant varieties. Other horticulture practices involve mulching, which where placing an organic material upon the top layer of the soil helps in such as leaves, straws on the surface of soil, which helps in soil fertility, retain moisture, and suppress weeds. And the next one is pruning, which involves the cutting of these crops or trees in some amount where the shape of the trees is reshaped and the productivity is more efficient. And the next one is composting. Composting involves use of organic materials such as leaves, grass, clippings, and food scraps to produce nutrition-rich fertilizer for plants. The next one is greenhouse horticulture, which involves growing plants in controlled environment such as greenhouse to extend the growing season and protects the plants from adverse weather conditions. The next topic is aquaculture, where we produce fish and other types of aqua animals in a controlled environment. So the first traditional practice in aquaculture is polyculture, where we uh, create a pond in the rural, moreover the village bodies, where we grew different species of fish all in one environment. So there's a creation of self-sustaining ecosystems, which helps the species to communicate with the other species as well, which creates an balanced ecosystem in a small amount of space. The next one is pond management, where in pond management we maintain the water quality for the aquatic plants, for the aquatic animals, and we create natural filtration systems in this pond management technique. The next one is seed production. In many areas of the world, traditional farmers have developed techniques to produce fish and shrimp feed, that is juvenile fish or shrimp, such as wild generation, selective breeding, and natural spawning triggers. The next aquaculture practices is traditional feed ingredients, where we have seen the use of different foods for growing of these fishes. But in traditional feed ingredients, we collect the insects or algae which is produced near the water bodies and feed them directly to the fish and other aquatic animals, which is a healthy source of food to them. Next come the terracing. Terracing in plants, we use a valley or a mountain to grow different types of crops. So in terracing in ponds, in place of the line of the crops, we place ponds so that they um, act as multiple level of ponds or reservoirs, maximizing the use of space and water resources. And other traditional methods are traditional fish processing and preservation techniques. In traditional fish processing and preservation techniques, such as smoking, salting, and drying, have been used for centuries to extend the shelf lifespan of the fish and create value-added products. And the other techniques are traditional knowledge of fish behavior and ecology, and where farmers of the who are practicing aquaculture study the behavior of these fishes and act according to its behavior and create some certain practices. In conclusion, I would like to say that these traditional practices should be moreover followed all over the globe, which create a sustainable environment for the plants and for the people as well. And this would increase the livability standards of every person upon the world. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Actually, I am from a farming family, sir. My grandfather. Yes. Yes, sir. I am in BTech planning second year, sir. Yes, sir. Uh, it's actually urban and regional planning, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, sir. No, sir. Less conflict with the environment, actually. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, I do visit my grandfather's village in my holidays sometimes. In the childhood, it was very evident. After he passed out, it was a bit problem for us. But these days, I am not in the field. Yes, sir. Telangana, sir. No, sir. Yes. So, speaking about drip irrigation, like exactly not exactly drip irrigation is traditional, but the controlled use of water for each plant is evident in drip irrigation, and that has been seen from many centuries over our farming fields as well, and many farming fields in our village also. Right. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, everyone, for this opportunity.
Good, well done. Give him a clap. Okay, is Snehal here? Snehal, I hope, is a lady. It's a boy. It doesn't make a difference to me whether it's a boy or a girl or something else. But the person has not turned up. We go to the next person. Dhananjay without H. Dhananjay. So Dhananjay will speak on water resilience through ancestral intelligence.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Dhananjay from BTech Planning second year, and the title is Water Resilience Through Ancestral Intelligence. Coming from the history, we can see the evidence in Indus Valley and Mesopotamian civilization, like they have constructed irrigation system to control water resource for agriculture and domestic purpose, and the ancient Egyptians, who were also prisoners in water management, building a vast network of canals and reservoirs to control the Nile River and irrigate their farmland. The Rome built aqueducts and water distribution system to supply their cities, and their engineering innovations helped to shape modern water management practices. The history of water management practices reflects the evolving relationship between humans and water, and the ongoing challenges of balancing the need of human societies with the ecological and the social system. Water conservation and management in the Trans-Himalayan regions. India is a country with a prominent indigenous knowledge base. A case study of Leh district of Ladakh. It is situated in Trans-Himalayan region. The presence and the extensive use of indigenous technologies such as traditional water storage ponds and complex irrigation canal system for water storage and distribution in the area. With a strong community bond among themselves, the villagers collectively work together towards maintaining these canal systems and storage ponds. Another example is a Bari system for it is in the Assam northeast, where these people has immense significance towards consumption, management, and conservation of biodiversity in many rural households. A pond locally known as Pukri is an integral part of Bari system. It is a dug-out pond primarily for the purpose of rearing fishes. It is a self-sustaining unit. The aquatic plants growing inside the pond act as a source of food for the fishes that are being reared, along with kitchen waste and some other household waste. Thus, the pond is both a self-sustaining and productive unit, providing fishes for consumption and water for various regular households and agricultural activities. Coming to Africa, Africa is another continent with a rich pool of indigenous knowledge base. Many African countries have been conserving their water source through their indigenous knowledge for ages. The concept of scared groves, as prevalent in many parts of the globe, including the Indian subcontinent, aids in sustainable water source management. One such structure is the trash lane, which are typically made from sorghum and millet residues that are arranged across the slope and are kept to decompose. They could be mobile or fixed, and some small or large as per the conditions of the available materials. Trash lanes are capable of resisting overflow by rain. They let the excess water percolate through the trash trap the soil and are well established. It is an annual practice to lay new trash lines between the originals. The conclusion is that traditional knowledge system has a crucial role in sustainable development for the countries. The knowledge, practice, and the beliefs is developed by indigenous people over the generations have evolved through collective experience and an understanding of interconnectedness of all living beings. Such practice recognize water as a scarce resource that must be respected, protected, and used wisely. Examples from different parts of the world, including India and Africa, highlights the significance of traditional water management practice, such as traditional water storage ponds, complex irrigation canal system, trash lines, and the Bari system of farming, among others. By integrating traditional knowledge system with modern technologies and scientific knowledge, we can ensure the conservation, restoration, and sustainable use of water resource for human well-being and the survival of ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhananjay. It's a little too brief.
Yes,
Doesn't matter. Make sure the point is the water cannot be named by even the mightiest Prime Minister of India. Neither Joe Biden, the President of USA, nor any other leader can create water. Water can be created only by nature. So that water has to be used. But should not be which is therefore we have to that intention.
That we have practices in India, well established traditional practices of water management, water techniques. In Telangana, recently, your GM was talking about a water management system that was prevailing in olden days. Can you tell me what it is? You have any idea?
No, sir.
He was linking all the water tanks that are adjoining the Godavari region. He was the all other things taken care of one time. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So, thank you, Dhananjay. You've done a good job. The topic is very important.
Thank you.
Dr. Jayachandran there? Because the next presentation is from Kenya. Yeah, it has to be what is called online. The topic is environmental conservation in Kenya by Stephen Wangi. So Stephen would mean a male. Okay, we'll go on to the next person. Kenya person later. You local Balaji next person.
We can ask, sir. We'll check with this participants may. Ravindra Garu, can you check?
I couldn't find any name, any person with that name.
Yeah, he should raise hand, no? If he is available. Yeah, Vipin is there. He is online presenter.
What's his name, sir? Some is it?
Sir, they will wait and we will continue in the end of the session. We'll finish the physical papers here and virtual will call all in the of the session. Okay?
Sir, I'll just.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Balaji, T. Balaji of JNTU, is he here? JNTU. He is not here. I'm sure Vanilla is ready, or she went away. Vanilla was sitting here. Then Sai Pranav, also JNTU. Sai Pranav, if he is here. And that's the end of it. This session is supposed to be over, of course. I have no authority to close the session. But there was large-scale absenteeism. One of the reasons why we encourage this kind of half-yearly seminars is it is meant only for students. Even PhD scholars are not permitted to make presentations. Why? Because apart from inculcating in you the desire to learn more about our environment, we also want to make you get rid of stage fear. It's a different matter sitting there. When you come here, you become what is called tongue-tied. You won't be able to even speak. To overcome that stage fear, we encourage students to make presentations. So when they come here, they generally read, but those who have some experience will be able to make a presentation even without reading. So that is one of the purposes for which this half-yearly seminar is held. So I think Vanilla has come. You made it? Right. Vanilla, this is the third time I think you are making presentation for us. I saw you 6 months ago also. No, first time. Scared? Are you scared? Don't get scared. Okay, Vanilla's topic is traditional knowledge and sustainable living. Excellent. Sustainable living. live in such a fashion that you do not cause any damage to the environment around you.
This is PDF, right? Go ahead with PDF. Yes.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Vanilla from B Design, third year. So today I'm here to speak about traditional knowledge and sustainable living. Firstly, we'll know about what is traditional knowledge. Traditional knowledge refers to the knowledge, innovations, and practice of local people developed through experience gained over time and adapted to local environment and culture. So whenever we think about traditional knowledge, there are different types. So traditional ecological knowledge and traditional technical knowledge, traditional value and ethics. So here we see what is traditional ecological knowledge. Traditional ecological knowledge represents knowledge associated with natural resources and environment management. And then traditional technical knowledge refers to knowledge associated with tools and appliances tools. Traditional value and ethics, it refers to value, norm, institutions and policies, farm work evolved with traditional knowledge and based practices. So in these days, what's the role of traditional knowledge and sustainable living? So let us know. Traditional knowledge is important for sustainable living as a provider of alternative ideas in the present context of global climate change, natural disasters, biodiversity loss, disabled ecological services, food and nutritional inequality, problems of sanitation and health. So consumptions is 33%, 3%, and then plant is 16.7%, plantation, and cultivation is 16.7%, and recycle is 16.7%, reuse is 16.7% in these days. So whenever we think about sustainability, like we get some things in our mind. So we think about society, we think about culture, we think about environment. So these all are whenever this sustainability comes to our mind, this is the thing we this thing pops in our brain. And why is sustainable living important? The current rate of resources extraction is unsustainable for the earth. In fact, we would need 1.6 earth to maintain current standards of living. In other words, we are using more resources than nature can regenerate and producing more waste and emissions that the earth can absorb. This can lead to climate change, global warming, plastic pollution, loss of biodiversity, water scarcity, and many other problems. So what are the advantages of sustainable living? Reduce waste and use of non-renewable natural resources, reduce carbon emissions and climate change efforts, prevent water scarcity and loss of biodiversity, promote a circular economy, preserve natural resources, led to less pollution. So these are the advantages. Benefits are to improve our health. Like to improve our health, it means that it gives a good, whenever it's sustainable, we can say that we can have a good health. Connect with your community. Whenever you go and speak out about the sustainability, we can say that you'll have a good go through, so you'll feel better for that. Sustainable living in these days. Sustainable is critical to maintain our quality of life, the diversity of life on Earth, and the health of Earth's rich ecosystems. Sustainable environment practice, improve water and air quality, reduce landfills, and increase renewable energy source in the long time. Traditional knowledge and sustainable living strategy. Traditional knowledge is valuable not only for those depend on it, but also for modern industry and agriculture. Many products come from traditional knowledge, such as plant-based medicines, health products, and cosmetics. Other includes agriculture and non-wood, forest. Traditional knowledge makes a significant economic contribution to sustainable development. So what I conclude is the role of traditional people for the conservation, management, and sustainability of environment goes far beyond as natural resource managers. Traditional knowledge, therefore, is a valuable resource to the global community and useful model and environmental friendly policies. Natural antibodies are better than synthetic antibodies. Green economy is need of the hour, and it is very essential and helpful for our present and the future generation. If we follow the perm- of the green economy strictly, then we can enjoy a better lifestyle and improve our living standards. Thank you.
the instructions from Jayachandra, but for whatever it is worth, I will read out the names of those who have not turned up. M. Sanjeev from JNTU, is he here? When he decided not to present the paper. Then Snehal from JNAFAU, not here.
He's online available.
Sai Pranav is. He's Sai.
Sai Prashanti is
Sai Pranav. Rajiv, JT.
Sai Pranav. Anyone in online who have registered for the presentation? You can raise your hand. I don't think anyone is online who has registered for the presentation.
Anyone is there for the afternoon session physical presentation? Yeah, please come. You also come and share the dais.
तो आ जाओ।
Any presenters registered for
Yes, sir.
today's conference?
Sir, we have two speakers, sir, two papers from the afternoon. So we will continue that.
Okay, sir.
Sanya and Suha. So they are from
Your PPT is here. Is there? Okay. Yeah, this one.
I think Pranav has joined. From
Okay,
JNAFAU.
okay, sir. Let this paper.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, let this paper work. No problem, sir. Then completing one session only.
Hello everyone, good morning. This is Suha Hassan and this is my friend Sanya Gayas. We are here to present the evolution of traditional architecture to modernism and architecture.
Okay, so first we're going to talk about the introduction. So before going to the main thing, let us first think that what has led to the change in architecture structure and style from Gothic to the modern. So what do you think has led to the change in architecture structure from Gothic to the modern mansion controlled by AI? It is a different culture, landscape, and climates. And what is the evidence? The buildings around us. The buildings around us are the evidence of how the society has changed over in time. In addition to the practical concerns, such as the availability of the resources and proximity, traditional architecture often embraces the aesthetic elements such as complex carvings, colorful tiles, and decorative designs that reflect the cultural heritage of the history. Next, we're going to talk about the history of architecture. And here's the timeline of how the architecture style has changed from the classic to the present style parametricism. Classic architecture shaped our approach to building in Western colonies around the world. It is known for its symmetry, order, and proportion. Gothic architecture, which is the next one, became characterized by the elements that supported taller and more graceful architecture. And the third one, which is the Renaissance architecture, during the Renaissance era, architects and builders were inspired by the carefully proportioned buildings of ancient Greek and Rome. And what became known as the Baroque was characterized by complex shape, extravagant ornaments, opulent paintings, and bold contrast. Second last, which is the Art Deco architecture, the architects of that era were inventive in their approach to design. They sought to create structures that were fresh, modern, and unlike previous revivalist styles. Uh, Modernism emphasizes practically clean structure, lack of ornamentation, and use of new age materials such as steel, concrete, and glass. The last, which is the present style, which is the parametrism, it's the latest technological innovation in architecture developed on algorithmic equations to figure out the possible designs with the help of modern tools such as Fusion 360, CAD, BIM, which is also known as Building Information Modeling. And I now give it to Suha.
One of the best examples of parametrism is the line. Now, what do you think is line? The line is a civilizational revolution. It redefines the concept of urban development and what cities of the future should look like. Saudi Arabia has proposed a new project, Neom City, planned on the coast of Red Sea with various unique and challenging features as a part of its Vision 2030 to transform itself from an oil-dependent economy to a knowledge-based economy. An approach like this would be very helpful to tackle environmental issues. The line will have a mirror facade, which will allow even its footprint to blend with nature. Coming to the geographical characteristics of the line is a 170-kilometer mega city, which will consist of connected communities, which it calls city modules, and link the Red Sea coast with the northwest of Saudi Arabia. The line's plan consists of 2 mirrored buildings with an outdoor space in between, having a total width of 200 meters and a total height of 500 meters. It crosses 3 distinct regions, each with their own diverse ecologies that make them ideal for different purposes. The 3 regions are coastal desert, mountains, upper valley. It will run on 100% renewable energy and 95% of the land will be preserved for nature. The line will have a 3-layered design. The top layer of the city will be the surface layer, where pedestrians will work, shop, and live. The lack of infrastructure and transportation on the surface will allow the line to keep its promise of being a city with 95% nature conservation. Below that will be the service layer, which will house the city's infrastructure. Water mains, electricity, and internet will all be contained in this invisible layer. Finally, there is the spine layer where the high-speed commuter train will be placed. The line will also feature next-generation transport systems. Here are some of the merits of the line. First one is sustainability. The line is designed to be a sustainable city with a focus on renewable energy sources and reducing the carbon emission. The city is planned to be powered entirely by renewable energy sources such as solar and wind power. The line is designed to be a cutting-edge smart city with a focus on advanced technology and innovation. The city is planned to be a hub for research and development in fields such as AI, robotics, and renewable energy. The city is also designed to be a showcase for sustainable architecture and urban design. The line is expected to bring significant economic benefits to Saudi Arabia, including the creation of jobs and new industries, with a focus on attracting high-tech companies and startups. The city is also expected to boost tourism in the region. The line is designed to offer a high-quality life to its residents, with a focus on health and wellness. The city is planned to have extensive green spaces, healthcare facilities, and recreational amenities. The line is planned to have advanced security measures, including facial recognition technology and 24/7 surveillance. The city is designed to prioritize the privacy and security of its residents. It is having a strategic location with access to key transport routes and infrastructure. The site is planned to be a hub for transportation and logistics with a focus on connecting the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. As you can see in the slide, some other benefits are it can hold 9 million people, generate 460,000 jobs, run on 100% renewable energy. It will also accelerate human progress, enable 5-minute walk to all services. You can access any service within a 5-minute walk and will have sufficient balance between sunlight, shade, and natural ventilation. Overall, the line has the potential to be a transformative project for Saudi Arabia with a focus on sustainability, innovation, and economic development. The project is planned to address some of the key challenges facing the world today, such as climate change and urbanization, while also offering a high-quality life to its residents. Over to Sanya.
As now we have discussed the merits, and of course, merits come with demerits. So now here are some detailed demerits of the Line Neom City project. First is the environmental impact. The consequences of the project may include increase in energy consumption, water wastage, and waste production. The project could lead to depletion of natural resources and contribute to climate change. Second one is the political cultural impact. Here in this region, we have a unique cultural heritage, and the development of a new city could threaten that the current heritage and the way of lives of the local communities. Political controversy. The line Neom City has been controversial due to its close association with the Saudi Arabian government, which has been accused of human rights abuses and repressive policies. The project's association with the government could have the political implications and may lead to criticism from human rights organization and other stakeholders. The fourth demerit is the financial sustainability. It is unclear how the project will be financed and whether it will be economically sustainable in the long run or not. So this could lead to the financial instability and uncertainty about the future of the project. And talking about the privacy and security concerns, smart cities like Line Neom City rely on collection and use a large amount of data. So this raises concern about the privacy and security. Residents may worry about how their personal data is being used and protected, and there could be some potential risks like cyber attacks or data breaches. And coming to social impact, it includes displacement of the local communities which resided over there and changes in social dynamics. The cultural and the social implications of the project should be carefully considered, and the project should be designed to minimize the negative impacts that would take place for the local communities. The last demerit, which is the cost, as you know, smart city costs a lot, and it requires significant financial resources. The cost of building the Lineum city could be very high, and it is unclear how this cost will be financed or whether it is economically feasible in the long run. And the last, which is the conclusion. So I conclude by saying that the economic benefits of the line are significant, with the project expected to create jobs, attract high-tech companies, and boost tourism. The projects focus on the security and privacy, including the facial recognition and the 24/7 surveillance, indicates the strong commitment of the team to create a safe, secure living environment for the residents. Overall, the line represents a bold vision for the future and sustainable and smart cities. If executed successfully, it has the potential to transform the way we live and work and set a new standard for the urban development. However, the project must be carefully planned and implemented to address the potential risks and challenges as discussed in the demerits, and to ensure that it also benefits all the stakeholders and wider community. And here are the three key facts of the line, which is the high-speed rail system, which will enable the end-to-end transit in 20 minutes, nature integrated into communities, enhancing livability and well-being. And the third is, which is the main part of the line, which is powered by renewables and ensuring pollution-free urban environment. Thank you.
Okay, but government MBS, In fact, the topic is traditional methods. And starting with the traditional architecture, etc. And it's a big eye-opener for us. Very bold. Anyway, just to architecture, the professor of architecture and others are all here. They, I'm sure, will be curious to ask a few questions. Okay, the chairman, Mr. Nagendra, will respond.
Though I was not prepared for the morning session, I was waiting for after post-lunch session. Thanks to the absentees, we have advanced the program. But I am really lucky to have two presenters who have done excellent job. I think out of so many people who spoke, I was wondering why two joint speakers are speaking on single subject. I now understood what is the advantage of sharing with each other, and you have done excellent job, Tanya and Soha.
Thank you, sir.
And,
Thank you, sir.
so now it is only a person like Sri M.V. Krishna Rao who can question you like what you question. Did you visit Saudi Arabia? And he's the man who has traveled and who takes pleasure in reading about geography. Though he's a student of literature, he goes through geographical locations, languages and everything. And even that questions you have daringly answered. And I am really happy with the way you have presented your paper as well as answered that very eminent person like M.V. Krishna. And coming to the subject, I think you have really done a wonderful thing by moving from past to present to future. You started with the past architectural background and just everyone knows present. So not talking much about present, you took us into a different world known as concept of lying and Saudi Arabian dream of doing something. And though our sir is slightly pessimist about its implementation, knowing the resources available in Saudi Arabia, I think that he would be witnessing that becoming a reality in his lifetime. He has expressed whether I would live there or not. But one thing, when you went on the subject of lying, it is wonderful of you both of you are just 21 years or 20 years, something like that. 19 only. I'm a student of electronics.
CSD, sir. CSD.
Computer students talking about architecture, and I was first wondering whether you are from Narayanamma Institute or from this institute, but you are both belong to Narayanamma Institute. The credit goes to your institute also for encouraging you on this subject. And I don't know how many of the audience has given a patient hearing because they have heard about 4 or 5 speakers earlier, and you had the almost the last speaker. But if those of you who have heard, your curiosity will be there to think about a world, how it is happening, what is happening, and the concept of lying. And really, I am at least thankful to you. My day is made today. I have made the day because of your lecture. And I don't have questions to ask. And both of you are very good in presentation. And you are very clear about what you are talking. And it is really speaks of your earlier schooling stage. You have learned the art of speaking at the school stage. Though you are the first or second year student, you have done a wonderful job. And I hope people will take lessons from such young speakers. And our chairman of the Durant Foundation told that the very intention of throwing such type of seminars to the students of the colleges is to make you to learn while doing your real academic courses. While you are doing your academic course for your professional advantage, but you should not be ignorant about environment, because if environment suffers at the rate which is suffering, there is no guarantee that we will be sustaining this planet to last long. So it is really great of your foundation for encouraging college students to speak. Generally, wherever I go, college students are made to be a captive audience. Great people will come and go on lecturing, and all students from different colleges are assembled to listen to others speak. And here it is a great experience for me to listen to young girls and boys from different colleges speaking on environment. And as Chandra already told you, I go a bit lower when I visit schools and talk to school children. It will be still interesting. You are, at least you know, you have some knowledge, but they are very innocent. But even then, that innocent school students pose such questions to me. I always feel the future of this country, our world is bright. So I thank you, both of you, because I have no questions to ask. And Hyderabad is ready, raising questions. Yeah, something. Audience, I think it is right. We have professors there. Yeah, because participation from audience is slightly lesser. At least by raising your questions. This is a challenge to the professor.
Appreciate the effort and bravery that you have put up with coming to Architecture College and presenting architect's work. And I'll just introduce myself. I'm heading the Facilities and Services department. So the point is, we at FSP, we deal with mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. So the NEOM, the project has definitely caught some attention and eye in the market. But there are a few pointers which I think that you should further research on. A is because the resources, like Krishna said, about the water being very scarce in Saudi Arabia. So where are they going to get from? They're going to get it from Red Sea, and hopefully they're going to desaline it and pass it on. So that could be an issue when it comes. Sustainability of that is going to be a very deeper topic to think upon. Another one is, yes, the three regions, the three layers, it's going to cause a lot of biodiversity damage also in that. Excavating all of that or putting it, and where is all the land going to go up? That is another thing. So I think the whole presentation went out really well, but just that two things. The water is going to be an important point. So maybe since you've already done half the research, maybe a little bit more fine-tuning to it, and you would have a better presentation for the fun. Thank you.
So we will take one paper. If anybody is available online, we will see, sir, if in that session, if anybody from the first session, no. Suppose they may not be prepared for afternoon if they want to go. So I still, somebody is there, I think, in the online. Is it who? Ravindra Garu?
Yes, sir.
I request online speaker, anybody available from the first session, because the speakers of the first session are all communicated. They know when their paper is. Anybody from the first session available for virtual presentation, we will allow now. Anybody please raise hand there.
Dear friends, anyone who have registered for the Pureit conference today and due for their presentation, kindly request to raise your hand or unmute yourself, because we are closing the first session. So
even I want any virtual participant, any questions to the speakers of this first session? Any question from virtual participants?
Participants, feel free to share your queries, observations.
Okay, so then we will take one physical paper from the afternoon session. So who is available here for physical presentation, afternoon session? Is there anybody available? Like Vaishali, JNFAU, is she there? Yeah, please come. We will allow one paper here, then the remaining will continue in the afternoon as usual. Yeah, please come. So we have this paper number 12 of the afternoon session.
Yeah, yes, sir. A documentation of historic structure. Good day to everyone. Hope you are all doing well. We students of JNFAU, myself, Jayashri, Taha, and Vaishali, studying architecture, are here today to present our research on the topic Documentation of Historic Structure, Raja Bhagwan Das Bagh, for the assessment of architectural characteristics. Starting off with this presentation, the objective of this research was to analyze and assess the old and significant architectural elements through a hand survey method of documentation. Nowadays, the government bodies are taking up restoration, renovation projects of dilapidating historic structures that still have the ability to inherit the charm of culture to the future generations. Next. Hence, the structure we chose is the Raja Bhagwan Das Bagh that is soon to be in the limelight for restoration proposal. It has received Intact State Heritage Tourism Award in 1997 and is listed under Regulation 13 of HMDA. Coming to the location, the structure is located in the Karwan, Gudi Malkapur, Hyderabad, which is 4 kilometers away from Golconda. This structure belonged to the 17th century Qutub Shahi era and is placed in Karwan, which formed the main market route to Golconda. Above in the slides, we see the maps that prove the statements. Coming to the neighborhood, the Karwan area was then occupied by the majority of Gujarati Banya family who came to settle down here along with their real estate and jewelry business. Above image shows an old moon map showing the lands that were owned by the families then. Later, the royal structure was handed down through the family members and now belongs to Satish Govind Shah, the sixth generation of the family. Over to
Yeah. This structure is a Zanani Mahal only for the ladies of the royals. The structure represents the Indo-Persian, Rajasthani, Shia, and Mughal style of architecture. The structure is mainly composed of Burma teak. Yeah. First, the site was spanned over 26 acres of land or bags that were known as gardens, pictured with wide variety of flowering and fruiting trees and 6 irrigation wells and moats, of which now the site spans to an area of just 1 acre. The structure is just a small part of the original said Zenani Mahal, of which no trace is left. In the above image, we see different layers of their planning: a chabutara, a fountain, a sheer staircase leading to the structure, a well at the back end with the servant quarters. The present neighborhood is now occupied. And with residential and commercial complexes, depriving its existence, yet stands still in contrast. Over to Taha.
Coming to architectural elements, the graceful curves and carvings of the palace. Looking onto ground floor plan, we can observe 3 layers of the spaces. One is veranda, one is the corridor, and one is the internal courtyard. And on speaking with the owner, the current owner, Satish Govincha, we experienced through his words how he described how the veranda used to be with full of plants and the fruits. He used to come in summer and enjoy with his family. Coming to the first floor plan, we can observe that the staircase which leads to the upper floor, when we went to the case study over there, it wasn't visible actually how to access the upper floor. Then later on observing the staircase from the behind part of the structure, we came to know how to access the first floor. So our understanding of this was basically this was meant for a Zanani Mahal. And whenever a new person is coming to the structure, it is not meant for him to understand to have the privacy for the woman. The staircase have been covered very cleverly behind the structure. Looking onto the elevations, we found few elements. The structure has openings from all the sides and doors from 3 sides, which resembles to the Baradari elements. The elements referred to as cusped arches, balustrades, chini khana, wooden frieze, wooden columns, and jharoka. When we speak of jharoka, it has cupola on its top and has 2 columns and has balusters on the bottom. So looking onto these balusters, it has peach shaped on the bottom and slenderness on the top. Looking onto chini khana, these were the niches made in the wall to accommodate the lamps in the olden days. The columns have intricate floral patterns carved on its top and bottom. Looking onto the sections, we can observe how the charokas are placed to look inside the courtyard as well as on the outside of the courtyard, meant to see the woman can observe what is happening in the court as well as on the market side in the olden days. We can also observe the ornamentation techniques like khadi work. It is basically the mixture of tamarind seed powder with limestone and gum and natural fruits and leaves paste. The artist then colored it with natural colors. On the left side, we can observe the khadi work, and on the right side, the Nirmal artwork. We can see it how it has been done on the doors. The wooden door is first polished very smoothly, and then the chalk is with the help of a chalk or paint. They draw a pattern on the door, and then with tamarind seed and rice flour and other natural colors, the paste is made and it is painted on the door. Over to Jayashree for conclusion.
These structures that contribute to the rich heritage have now lost the significance. It downs us the responsibility to identify and readopt to these culture and integrate it to the new needs and functions of the future. Thank you.
Hey, Jayashree. Actually, I have joined online.
Yeah.
So I just have a few questions as you guys have researched. So what are the elements of architectural designs from the olden times that can be implemented in today's times to alleviate construction related pollution, or any thoughts on sustainable construction in today's times?
Yes, sir. You have to.
Have you got the question, Ma?
Yes, ma'am. Like you asked the question for what can be implemented in today's real world situations to cater to, right? Here were a few elements we've noticed in the structure, like the jarokas here we see. Those are smaller balconies that were used by the women those days. Nowadays, maybe we can implement these small projections into the design we do nowadays. And also, we see these chinikhana elements that were implemented then to accommodate the lamps. But nowadays, we see yeah, storage spaces that limit the area requirement really to it in the built up area. And yeah, like speaking of the layers that they used for construction, the outer veranda was for the outdoor activities, like the women used to come here, speak among themselves. And then the second layer was the courtyard, like a corridor that was shaded during the summers and left open during the winters, which gave an a climate responsive design aspect to it. And then the inner court that was always shaded, and it led to let a cooler central activity space for the people. Yeah.
So, so my question is that as you guys have, I think you guys have been there and you have done some research. So I just wanted to know how can those some of the things that you saw in the construction or in the architectural design can be utilized, such as sustainable building materials or water conservation or maybe waste reduction or energy efficient homes now compared to what it was in the past, because obviously we are living in cities. So how can we take inspiration from those traditional ways of construction and use it in today's times?
Yes, like you see in the floor plans, we see openings on all sides of the structure here, right? Like 3 on this side and 3 on this side and 3 on here. So the same replicates onto the first floor as well. This gave a sense of cross ventilation during those times, which is relevant to Hyderabad's climate. And also the layering of the structure into different activity zones that gave an energy efficiency, energy efficiency, energy efficiency character to the building. Ma'am, did I answer your question?
No, not really, but I'm getting what you're trying to say, but it's just that, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your observation and query.
Yes, Srishti, you want to add anything more?
No, sir.
Yeah. So you see, I could recognize you.
Yeah.
Any other question from virtual participation?
No, sir. Really good presentation. I'm MD Hassan Ali from Bangladesh.
Yeah,
Really,
okay.
listening the presentation and equally truly
Okay.
spending with tremendous. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Your presentation is there in the afternoon. We are awaiting for it. And any more question from virtual participation to this, all the speakers of this morning session, not only this paper, any question, if you want to ask, you forget to ask that time. Now all people are available here. You can also sit. Any question from virtual participants?
Dear friends, feel free to share. If you have any queries, observations, or any feedback
No problem.
on the speakers or presentations.
So then, Ravindra Garu, with this, the first session, we will try to wind up here. We have a small proceedings here.
Okay, sir.
Still, our chair want to give some feedback on this. So, sir, can you?
So congratulations to all the participants in the first session. For your participation and also to all the presenters.
So we aware of the land everywhere. Even they did not spare this land which was historically important. They were all used. So they have done an excellent job. At least audience, if you have no questions, give them a big hand. Please. I don't know why you are able to participate because I went to the last chair and I was able to hear everything from here there. So audience, if you have intention to listen, you have interesting persons making interesting stories. So please, at least in the afternoon session, after you recharge your batteries, be ready with questions. Thank you. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. So
even because still we have a few minutes time, if any of you want to speak about this conference, you might have missed an opportunity. You could not speak here, could not send a paper and participate. Now there is an opportunity. If anybody want to say a few words, 1 minute, 2 minutes. See, as our president told, M.V. Krishna Rao, see, this is the conference. You check in the net. This is the only conference where students will present papers. There is no conference where students are given the prime role. And as our Nagavendra Rao sir told, everywhere you are audience, only used as audience, and only professionals will speak. So this is an opportunity, this is a platform, and I appreciate all the speakers who spoke for first time from your own college and from other colleges. So if even now, if anybody want to just say one word, so that you are fortunate to be here also is a good thing. So this is what is the thing that we need today. So we always confined to the benches, last benches are chairs. So because we can end up, maybe it requires only 10 minutes for us to do the last proceeding, giving some mementos or something to the speakers. But still, I am appealing to you, want to talk something about this? You are welcome. See, if you give it to Krishna Rao sir, give it to anybody here, we can talk for hours. That is not the purpose of this conference. See, our sir is trying to pull somebody from there. Huh? So sir has mic. You want to talk from there also, you can talk. See, all of you will go with the same certificate of your graduation from this university or your MTech degree. Everybody will take that. And everybody will mention the same qualification in your profile. But these people sitting here on the dais can add that few lines to their profile, that I presented a paper in so-and-so national conference and I got an award. This is the what they can mention. And this is the thing that is useful for both job opportunity and for higher education. So I think you don't opt both, no jobs and no higher education. Then you should think and plan for this place, the next conference. So, okay, sir. I request you to come on to the dais. We will conclude with a small presentations to the speakers and the chair. You both sit. One chair is there, sir. You can share that chair. Kuchan birder kuch. Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Jayachandra and team and the college professors and these students. I just wanted to throw some points to you. All the students should have and you have a lot of energy. You have a lot of innovation on your brains. You can do a lot of good things. This is a platform, as Jayachandra said. You all have to. I insist on have to doubly. You have to make presentations. You have to make yourself more amenable to make questions and ask for the drive out the presenter to make more and more innovation in their presentations. Your support will always lead to a betterment in the presenters' presentations, and you can also enrich your knowledge by that. You better all of you youngsters and professors also. I give a pinch here that okay. So please make sure in the next conference that is going to be proposed soon, please come forward and make your presentations to enrich your knowledge as well as enrich our knowledge also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable message.
Yeah, very good afternoon, everyone. I hope you guys are not sleeping. Please wake up if you're sleeping also. It's a student conference. It's all about yourself. So please be participative. Don't think that it's one-ended conference where one person is speaking and you don't have any say. Please be participative. So I would request you all to participate in the conference. And there is one more announcement that I would like to make, that we have organized an open day, both the Department of FSP and Department of Urban and Regional Planning at the 4th floor. So interested people could just visit and see the exhibited works of our students. So it will be very interesting. Over the lunch break, I request all of you to please visit the 4th floor and see our works. Even the designated chairpersons, please do visit the 4th floor. Yeah, thank you very much. And I want you all to ask some questions. Be participatory. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the invitation and the wonderful message.
Mic istara. Yeah, mic. Now this is time for recognizing their courage and their interest. That is what we want to encourage students. See, actually the foundation and JNFAU both jointly organizing this conference, and the JNFAU and Pure Earth Foundation will give the best paper awards, cash prize, mementos and all. But with the interest and want to encourage the students, we have mementos for all the speakers here. So I request Krishna Rao Garu. Yes, sir. I think for he is there, so you have to keep some place. No, sir. You, sir. Sir, you can. No. That all you do it for the award winners. Okay. Yeah. This is. Yeah. Just take a photograph, sir. Akshita from JL. Yes, sir. He is bringing. And wait, sir. Wait, sir. So this is a memento from Global Information Technologies. And sir, please come, sir. Akshita, you have this pen, a beautiful pen from RHINEXA, one of the sponsors here. And the next one, yeah, please come. Bhavya. Please come on. Moment of this. Dhananjay.
Sir, you can adjust the screen a little bit so that we can also see. Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah, please come next. Yeah, now I request, no, not this. That thank you mementos for Prasanna madam, please. No, Prasanna madam kivandi. Madam, give a mementos to one more. Good. Here, Krishna Rao gar, for Krishna Rao sir and for our Naidu sir, we have a small memento for being with us here and handling this wonderful session, morning session. So, no, Prasanna madam will give it to you, sir. It is your memento. It is your memento. So, yes, sir, that is yours. And one more memento for Naidu Garu. So now, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Be seated, sir. I will call upon Nagavendra Rao, sir, to give his students of his session. Yeah. Please come, both of students. One more. No, each person is separate. See, because they presented, though it is for one paper, one memento, but they presented. That is very important. We want to encourage all. Yeah, what then this for these three? Please come. Jayashree and your team, please come. Yes, sir. Separate, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. మీ కాలేజీ మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ కి బాగా నో రెస్పాన్స్. మీరు దానికి అలవాటు అడ్డారు. వెనక్కి కూర్చోవాలి, క్లాప్స్ కొట్టాలి, స్టేజ్ మీదకి రాకూడదు, ప్రెజెంటేషన్ ఇవ్వకూడదు, మాట్లాడకూడదు. సో బట్ అట్లీస్ట్ డూ యువర్ జాబ్. ఎస్. సో బిగ్ హ్యాండ్ ఫర్ జయశ్రీ. బాబు థ్యాంక్స్ మేడం ఫర్ నాగవేంద్ర రావు సార్. A small token of gift from our side. Okay, అందరు కూడా నిలబడండి. No problem. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, now we will have a group photo of all the session speakers. Please come. So you have to kneel down. Judges will stand. And whatever way you want to fit into a frame, please. If we all, you can stand. Hey, come. ముందుకు రండి. ఇక్కడ నిలబడండి. See that it should be in one frame. Should be in one frame. బాబు కొంచెం kneel down అంటారు ముగ్గురు, ఇద్దరు ముగ్గురు బాయ్స్. Yes, good. Yeah, you make it wonderful photo. What is there? Yes. Just wave like this. No, it won't cover, I think. Okay, thank you. So we will close the morning session with this. So we'll be joining exactly at 2 o'clock. Yeah, take. Hey, why? Okay, you take it. Yeah, that's okay. So okay, sir, Ravindra Garu, we will break here and then we will join exactly at 2 o'clock. Okay, sir.
Thank you, Jayachandra Garu, and congratulations to all the presenters and also the participants.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So friends will be joining with the same link at 2 o'clock after lunch. So kindly join with the same link.
Okay, sir.
Thank you everyone for joining us. In the meanwhile, you can also leave your feedback through the feedback form in the form of polls.